In case you missed it, Jesus used sexual banter. Elka Reverend Laura Groen suggests Jesus was trying to seduce the Samaritan woman at the well in John 4, but was thwarted by his apostle. This is what she wrote. Remember that time Jesus was thirsty with that woman at the well? He asked her if they could have a drink together, and she was like, I don't think you and I should be talking to each other. And he was like, if you had any idea who I'm in, you'd be begging me to buy you a drink. And she's like, I don't think your bucket is big enough for my well. But she's softening up a little, and he's like, you have no idea how it could get your well gushing. And she's getting a little thirsty herself now and asks him to satisfy her. And he has to check, where's your husband? No husband. He says, I know you're a naughty, blanky girl, but she takes that the wrong way, and there's a little bit of an argument here. Somehow the argument resolves something about worshiping his mountain, and she runs off to tell her friends about him. And the disciples show up with questions, and Jesus is like, I'm getting my needs met in ways you don't know about. That's not anything like what happened. When Jesus went to the well, there was a Samaritan woman by herself in the heat of the day. Jews were supposed to hate Samaritans. Samaritans were thought of as half-breeds. So when Jesus went to go speak to this woman, yes, it was in fact a huge controversy. A Jew, a man, a rabbi, having a conversation with a woman right out in the open where everybody who walked by could see. In that conversation, he did, in fact, ask her to get him a drink. And she said, who are you, a Jewish man, to ask me, a Samaritan woman, to get me a drink? And Jesus did go on to tell her about what he could provide her. It is water after which you'll never thirst again. And she said, give me this water. And he explained this to her and then asked her, where is your husband? I have no husband. And Jesus agreed. Yes, I know the one you're married to now is not your husband. Then he mentioned the several other husbands that she had. And what he was doing was showing that he knew everything about her. Jesus, for the first time, had revealed that he was the Messiah to this woman. If you want to make this sexual, it's because you want to make Jesus into the person like you. And there's a phrase that they use, thirsty. We used to use another phrase when I was young. It has to do with having horns on your head. Jesus didn't display any behavior like this, not a single time. And when his disciples came back, they were concerned about him not having food. And he said, I have access to energy you don't know about, food you don't know about. What he meant was, of course, tapping the Father's energy. After all, Jesus went to the desert and fasted for 30 days and still had the wherewithal to mentally and spiritually resist Satan.